The Champions League is back and we have seen so much drama, positive and negative drama, unfortunately. But today we saw Juventus lose 5-2 to Galatasaray. We saw PSG come back from 2-0 down against Monaco to win 3-2. We also saw Borussia Dortmund beat Atalanta 2-0, but more importantly, the most dramatic game for positive and negative reasons, like I said, was this Benfica versus Real Madrid game. We saw what happened in the last one, 4-2, the goalkeeper coming to score at the end of the game, but this one, it was a much more, easy result, 1-0, but there was so much that happened in this game. There were two red cards. The game was stopped for 10 minutes for reasons that really we shouldn't be talking about in 2026. But ultimately, Vinicius, what a brilliant goal to make it 1-0 for Real Madrid, and an important win for them going into the next round or the next fixture, which is next week. Very, very important win for Madrid. But let's just talk about everything that happened. So we're going to start with Real Madrid against Benfica. Now, we already knew how dramatic this game could be. And boy, was it dramatic, like I said. In the first half, you could see that Benfica wanted to score some goals. They looked really good. Madrid had a few chances here and there, but Benfica really controlled the first half. But towards the end of the second half, you saw how Madrid were playing so well. But in the second half, Madrid came back with that same vigor. They came with that same vibe, and they were like, we're going to score. And Vinicius, my oh my. As a Barcelona fan, I have to say that I do not like Real Madrid, but I will give credit where credit is due. That was a brilliant goal by Vinicius. My goodness, he puts it right in the top corner. Top bins, as they say. Beautiful, beautiful goal. And then, this is where the drama started, because in his celebration, he went towards the corner flag and was dancing. And you could see that was a bit disrespectful to Benfica. And the Benfica fans did not take it lightly. The players did not take it lightly as well. They were annoyed. Vinicius got a yellow card for that. We'll come back to this first yellow card because he could have gotten sent off later in the game. But he got a yellow card for a disrespectful celebration, which I understood. And I was like, you know what, Vinicius will be Vinicius. There's always going to be drama around him. But the kind of drama we do not like is when things are said to him based on his skin color. And that's one thing I do not like. I think it has no place in football. It has no place anywhere, especially football. Because honestly, I was so disappointed when I saw it. Clearly, Vinicius heard something from, what's the guy's name? I forget his name right now. Prestianni. He heard something and he was very annoyed by it, and he called the referee's attention. Now, when we saw the replays, we saw that Prestianni did like this, covered his mouth, and said something. And the thing is, today, you already know that the cameras are watching. So I was thinking to myself, maybe they're going to catch exactly what he said. But he knew exactly what he was doing, and he covered his face. And clearly, Vinicius heard something that he didn't like. And for him to go straight to the referee and complain, and the referee giving this X sign, I knew something was wrong. From that moment, I knew something was absolutely wrong. And this thing is so annoying because it happens to Vinicius a lot of the time. And everybody keeps saying, why is it only Vinicius? I'm sorry, but hate comes from below. That's the truth. Hate comes from below. If he was not a fantastic player, maybe he would get less hate. But it doesn't matter. It should never get to the point where it is racist. That's the issue I have. Now, we don't know exactly what Prestianni said. And honestly, they always say innocent until proven guilty. But clearly, the actions I saw there, enough for me to tell that he did something wrong or said something wrong, because there's a reason he covered his mouth before he said that. So honestly, this thing has no place in football. It has absolutely no place in football, and it's so disappointing that we're still talking about it in 2026. It is so sad, especially at the top level of football, the Champions League, the UEFA Champions League. Things like this should not be happening. So clearly, Vinicius was annoyed by that. The game stopped for 10 minutes. Mbappe was clearly talking to Prestianni, and something was off, and you could just tell. And I thought the game could have been called off, but it wasn't. I think Vinicius probably thought to himself, let's just play the game. Vinicius has always said he wants to play football, so he probably just thought to himself, let's just play the game. And everybody came back and played, and Prestianni went free for now, because I'm pretty sure that after this game, there's going to be a proper investigation, and whatever needs to be done is going to be done. But that is that about that. That was the drama. Very unfortunate, very disappointing, and these are the things we don't want to see in football. But that's that about that. Let's talk about the rest of the game, because there was still more drama, as you can always expect from a team coached by Mourinho. Any game that you see Mourinho in, there's going to be drama. And while this 10-minute break was happening, there was a red card shown to one of his staff. But, Mourinho, typical Mourinho. To be fair to him, he had a good point. Vinicius came back and fouled someone just for a free kick just outside of the box. And we could say that could have been a yellow card. I think it would have been a harsh yellow card, but it's one of those ones where if the referee gave a yellow card, I would not complain about it. I thought it was it was 50-50. So if he got a yellow card for that, I wouldn't complain. And he didn't get a yellow card, so I was not complaining as well because I thought, it's dicey. But you could tell immediately that Mourinho was not happy about that. You could see the way he ran off from his chair. It reminds me so much of the Tottenham days. Like he was laughing and he just stood up and it's like, what's going on? And then he ran all the way to the ref or the fourth official and was saying a lot of things. And he was like, that's a second yellow. That's a second yellow, And maybe it was the manner in which he said these things, but he got two straight yellows, like two yellows on the bounce, like within a minute. He got the first yellow and he was still complaining. Like the replay showed that he was still complaining and he was still talking about something. And clearly, like the ref was like, I've just given you a yellow. If you're wise, you probably keep your mouth shut. But you trust Mourinho, he's going to speak. And he kept on speaking and then he got a second yellow and got sent off. And I mean, football heritage, as he says. But honestly, what a game it was. And towards the end of the game, you could see that the Benfica fans were not having it. They were throwing objects at Vinicius. I just thought it was just so unnecessary. Like, this is not why we want to watch football. We want to watch football to enjoy the game. But when it starts getting to the point where you're throwing objects at players, saying certain things to players, it just becomes so much more disappointing to watch. And honestly, I commend Vinicius every day because I think he's been one of the most targeted players with racist chants and things that have been said to him. And honestly, like, I don't know how it feels because I live in Nigeria. Everybody here is just the same skin color. So yes, we see tribalism here and there once in a while, but I just think it's really sad, really disappointing. And honestly, like, it's what it is, but we're going to see something happen at the end of the day. Something has to be done. I know there's going to be an investigation, and this is not the last we've heard of this. There will be more that will happen. But honestly, the most important thing for Madrid is they've gone to a very hostile place, gotten a 1-0 win, and next week they're home. They play at home with a 1-goal advantage. They probably want to seal it and move forward. Mourinho is definitely not going to be in the dugouts, so that's also an interesting one for Benfica. But honestly, I think Benfica are a decent side. Like, forget all the drama today. They are a very decent side, and I think in this next game, something could happen. The game is not over. I think Madrid are going to go through. That's my prediction. But I don't think it's going to be a walkover. I could be wrong. At the end of the day, Madrid could go there and score 2 goals in the first half and just blow them away. But I think we still need to give Benfica a bit of credit because I think they're a really decent side. They had some chances in this game, but honestly, Courtois he's just a cheat. Like, this guy is just too good. Like, I don't understand how there's a keeper who can move that well for his height. So I think this is a big game that's still going to come. But there were some other games. So let's talk about the next most dramatic game. Monaco versus PSG. It was 2-0 up. I didn't even know. It was my cousin that sent me a message and it was like, bro, PSG are 2-0 down. I was like, what? Like, I did not expect that at all. And I tuned in when they had a penalty and Vitinha missed the penalty. The penalty was saved. And I was like, this is not looking very good. It's not looking very good. Unfortunately, Dembele got injured. He was replaced. Doué came on and, oh my goodness, Désiré Doué is a baller. This guy is so good. I need to even know his age. I know he's young, but he's so good. Like, he's just 20. He was born in 2005. And I find it so funny because I'm young and I'm older than him. That's another story for another day. But the point is, this guy is really good. Like, his first goal was so good. And he scored the third goal from everything I remember. Like, he scored the winning goal. Like, honestly, big ups to him. Like, fantastic footballer. Like, yes, Balogun put Monaco up in the first half, 2 goals up. And then Désiré Doué came on, scored literally just after being subbed on. Achraf Hakimi also scored a goal at the end of the half. And then in the second half, I mean, Golovin, got a red card for Monaco. And then at the end of the game, sure, the 6th, 7th minute, Désiré Doué scored his goal and sealed the comeback. The interesting thing is that the next game is now at PSG's home at the Parc des Princes. So I think this game is basically done. I don't see a world where PSG don't get the job done. But I think PSG have their flaws this season. They've not been as good as they normally would be. They literally lost this weekend. Shocking results. I think it was 3-1 to Rennes. Like, PSG have not had the best season. Like, this is a team that just won the Champions League last season. Yes, they didn't qualify from the top 8 in the first last season, but you would expect that they'll probably do it this season. But they didn't do it again. And then in the league, they're currently second, and that's almost like a sin for PSG. So things are looking weird. There was a point where they were second for a long time, and then Lens dropped points, and then they went ahead, and now like they've dropped points, and Lens have gone back to the top. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how the league finishes. I still think PSG will win the league. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League. I think they're just not consistent enough, and maybe they're running on fumes based on last season because it was a long season for them. But yes, that's about that game. Then we have the Juventus versus Galatasaray game, and my goodness, it was a humiliation for Juventus. Like Galatasaray absolutely blew them away. Like it was 1-0 to Galatasaray, and literally the next passage of play, like from the kickoff, like Galatasaray didn't even touch the ball, and Koopmeiners put them to 1-1, and then minutes later it was 2-1 with a brilliant shot, and it was 2-1 at half time. But somehow Juventus lost this game from 2-1 up to 5-2. They lost this game. They got a red card. I think Yilmaz was brilliant. Like he just kept on like terrorizing the defense, and like they got a red card. Osimhen was really good in front, getting 2 assists towards the end of the game. But honestly, what a dramatic game. I don't see a way back for Juventus. I think it's a bit too much. 3 goals is going to be tough to get against a Galatasaray side who probably try to get a goal as well when they go to Turin. But I think that game is probably done. But then the final game, Dortmund, professional job, 2-0, first half, 2-0, and they beat Atalanta. So that's going to be a very interesting game to see how that goes when they go back to Bergamo, because clearly, Atalanta need to find a win. It's not been the best season for them. Like they're not doing that well in Serie A as well, but they need to find a way to win this game. I'm not sure if they'll be able to. I think Borussia Dortmund will qualify for the next round, but there are going to be games tomorrow. There's also Premier League action, so I will be watching Arsenal. I'm probably doing a video on them, and I'll try my best to also watch the Champions League. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do a video on the Champions League tomorrow, but if there's something dramatic enough, I'll probably do that. But yeah, that's it for this video. Said a lot, but if you did enjoy the video, please make sure you like it before you leave. Share with a friend that may like this content. Make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think about the talking points today. And before you leave, you should probably watch this video or this video. You're probably going to enjoy both of them if you try both. But that's it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.